No.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's okay. Yeah, I know.
Nicki's my homie, but this is where my issue with Kim stemmed from. Like, Kim's the OG. And it seemed when you was coming at Nicki, you was, just being bitter and disgruntled.
You're wrong.
You seemed like the old, you remember Players Club?
You're wrong.
The tricky chick?
Let me tell you why you're wrong. And let me tell you why you dead wrong. Because it's deeper than that. I never had a problem with her. I was always nice with her. Always. She was a very obnoxious person. But I was always nice with her. From the moment that I met her, I was always cool with her. But after that, it almost seems like when they realized, okay, we need Kim, we want to study her swag. That's what it kind of felt like, because I was around for a long time, and they're like, okay, let's study her swag, and we'll. And I think they wanted to get that record just to stamp that I was okay with what was going on. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? For me, it was a break back into rotation, into, if that would have been a big video and a big event record, it would have been good for both of us. But I personally think they didn't want me to stand beside her, which is stupid. We're at Justin's birthday party. Perfect timing to come up and say, hey, we did the song together. Whoa. Nothing. And she looked at me and rolled her eyes, and I was like, really? Every single record she's made was coming at me. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody who's smart with a brain, everybody who knows music knows damn well in that Puffy record she was coming at me. I didn't say nothing about this chick. I didn't say nothing about this chick at this time. She was coming at me in the Puffy record. She was coming at me in all these records that she was doing, the Jay and Kanye records. I didn't say nothing. She wanted to be the only female out there. So when Baby and them said, we're not fucking with this chick because you can't stand next to her, she loved it. Because she didn't want to stand next to me.
I think it's her.
She wanted to be out there by herself.
I think the industry puts women against each other all the time.
Yeah, they do. That's exactly what happened. And my thing is, you have to be smart enough to say, yo, I don't know what they talking about, but you my bitch. Don't start coming at me in records, talking about me disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, indirectly. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. When a chick, let me tell you something, I'm going to leave this on this note. You will see. Everything in the dark comes to the light. That's all I gotta say.
To think at one point, Nicki Minaj was one of the hottest acts in mainstream music. At her prime, it seemed like only a few people could touch her, as she was constantly putting out hit after hit after hit after hit. It seemed like the bigger she became, the more her ego kept growing, as she was always constantly bragging about how she's the queen of rap and all these goofy bitches as her sons, and she's always number one, blase, 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 blah. But it seems like as time went on, the more we started to see a humongous slew of female rappers blowing up, the more her jealousy just kept growing and growing and growing. It's funny how Nicki Minaj is always constantly running her mouth on Twitter that jealousy is a disease, and I just always look with a side eye like, bitch, look who the fuck is talking. Because she has such a raging jealousy that she borders on being remembered for being the mean girl who didn't like sharing the spotlight with any of the other girls, more than being remembered for her musicianship. The fact that she's best known for her crash outs and her beefs these days every time she's on the news rather than her music, that is just fucking sad. To go from being one of the hottest acts in music to just becoming nothing more than a bitter, old, washed-up has-been is just honestly so embarrassing for her.
Funny because, in asking people what they wanted to know, I mean, clearly you've been having this thing with Kim. And I don't know, I was just thinking about you and where you were from and that you're a rapper. And I'm thinking, sure, I know things have gotten crazy and people are assuming, even though you say it's not specifically about her, that Roman revenge is...
Roman's revenge is for Kim. She just really jumped out the window. And you gotta be careful when you pick fights. And that's what I've learned in this business. You just never know. I think people get me mistaken with like a real Barbie. They forget where I'm from. And if I have to revert back, I can, and I will. So don't play with me. It's one of those moments when you say, don't play with me. Because I respect you, I love you, I've said it in every interview, time and time again. And if that's not good enough with you, mama, then it's something deep-rooted in you. You need to something is bothering you inside. That's your insecurity bothering you. It's not Nicki Minaj. It would have been any girl that started popping. Every time you in the news, it's because you getting at somebody. Where's your music? Put your music out, and when I see your name on Billboard, that's when I'll respond to you. Other than that, goodbye. Barbie bitch.
To take you back. She just ran.
And that doesn't take away from the respect. You know when a mom gotta beat you and she be like, it hurts me more to beat you than it hurts you? It doesn't take away the love that I have. It doesn't take away, you know how, because I'm a realist.
Because you say those are the people that she's one of the people that you came up listening to. Did it hurt your feelings?
It hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it hurt you.
But you wanna know what scares people? Success. When you don't make moves and when you don't climb up the ladder, everybody loves you because you're not competition. When you become competition, the people start, wait.
Yeah, people's like,
wait, hold on, hold on.
So true.
So I felt like you're gonna go down in history now as a sore loser, as opposed to going down in history as the queen. Because if you can't beat them, join them. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. You don't have to feel the need to put somebody down and make yourself feel better. I see people do things all the time that I think, that remind me of Nicki Minaj. But it's like, do you, honey? It's like we all take from each other. There's nothing, that's why why in the black communities we gotta hate on each other instead of saying, thank you for showing me love. Thank you for, keeping my name alive. The same way she opened doors for me, I'm now opening doors for her. Because, do you understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
Because nobody was even playing your music and you damn sure couldn't get an interview to save your life. But now you getting interviews and every time you do an interview they asking you about Nicki Minaj. So it's like we help each other. That's the point. We're helping each other. But if you are bitter, get a life.
In all honesty, upon rewatching that interview that she had with Angie Martinez about approximately 15 years ago, I just always constantly laugh because it's so funny she said all of that about Little Kim, but yet little did she know she was talking about her fucking self. Because now she's become nothing more than a sore loser who's just constantly just crashing out and crying on Twitter and endlessly just picking fights with so many modern female artists, even to her contemporaries who've even cited her as an inspiration. From Megan Thee Stallion to Lotto to SZA, and even frequently reigniting her beef with Cardi B. As the two went on a heated exchange on Twitter, talking shit back and forth, things would take a turn for the worse once Nicki Minaj started talking shit about her daughter Kulture by calling her ugly and saying that she looked like a monkey. Look, I don't like Cardi B. I never have been a fan of Cardi B, but once you start talking shit about somebody's kid, that's just taking things way, 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 way too fucking far. But yet, despite this, Nicki Minaj tried to backtrack what she said by apologizing, like, oh, I'm sorry, Kulture, you're actually a cute kid. This isn't who I am. I didn't mean it. Like, girl, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, stop it. You said what you said, and you said what you meant. Like, if this was somebody talking about my kid, I don't care who you are. I want to meet you in person and run the fade on your ass. Like, because you are not going to talk shit about my kid and get away with it. Like, that's just way too fucking far. That's like taking a cheap shot. Much like Kanye West these days, Nicki Minaj, to me, is just a constant eye roll. She's the textbook example of what happens when you become your own worst enemy, when you allow your own ego and your emotions to get the better of you to the point where you basically have put a nail in your own coffin. And in the end, she'll have nobody, and I repeat, nobody to blame but herself for this. She's such an attention whore because she just always likes it when people are on their feet, praising her existence and constantly worshiping her like she's the greatest thing that ever happened on God's green earth. Because she's so desperate to receive the same respect that Beyonce gets, that Lady Gaga gets, and Rihanna gets. But the reason why she'll never, ever, ever, ever receive the same respect that all three of those ladies receive is because of the fact that they don't spend their time constantly acting like a spoiled brat who cries on social media every single day, running her mouth with her little Twitter fingers. Shitty Minaj has been constantly making an ass out of herself, and it's so sad because she's in her 40s acting like this, giving off vibes like a preppy teenage girl in high school who gets jealous whenever she's not the center of attention. So overall, to any of y'all watching this, what I want you to do right now, click off your computer, get off your mobile devices, go straight to Lil' Kim and say, I'm sorry. Because she proved to be right about Nicki Minaj all this time, but nobody believed her. Everybody doubted her, laughed at her, pissed on her, shat on her. But she was right about Nicki Minaj all this time. So what y'all should do right now, apologize to Lil' Kim. Do it. I'm serious.